Now we're getting Jared Monroe coming forward for the first time talking about it in public with the message, I didn't want to do this, freejaredmonroe.com. And if you go to freejaredmonroe.com, it's a fundraiser for his family's legal fund to fight Steven Crowder. It's already raised $56,000. It has a goal of $100,000. Honestly, seeing at the speed that people are donating, and I'm seeing donations of 1.5 there, 50 there, 30 there. He's going to hit $100,000 easy, and there's a good chance he's going to get past $100,000. So it doesn't seem like he's going to have any problem funding his legal battle with Steven Crowder, who he accuses of continuing to pressure him and bully him with legal filings way after his employment ended out of spite and to keep him shut up about the type of behavior that he saw while working with Steven Crowder. But now he's coming forward and he released a over 15-minute video. Already got 4 million views, but again, views on Twitter just should scroll by, so keep that in mind. 12,000 likes, getting some attention, getting shared around. This is going to make waves in the conservative space. And Steven Crowder's ship, I don't want to say it's been sinking, but it hasn't been headed in the right direction. And this certainly isn't going to help, especially if he raises the money, which it looks like he's going to. Let's check out what Jared has to say about Steven Crowder.
And as the famous saying goes, sunlight is the best disinfectant. So here we go. I'm currently being legally abused and intimidated into silence by a former employer. This has been going on for a while now, and it simply
there we go.
Cannot live in darkness for another day. But I am asking for your help to fight back. First, some context. In late October of 2023, to my surprise, I was served these papers. A cease and desist from my former employer. It threatened severe legal action in the form of a lawsuit and demanded I cease communications with my friends. The scare tactics of cease and desist are generally to intimidate, isolate, and eventually devastate. Like most cease and desist, it also demanded that I swiftly provide them written certificate of my compliance. I did not. In the same delivery, I was also served these papers. A Rule 202 petition from my former employer. You can look that up on the internet. I know I had to. These documents were filed with the county court of my former place of employment, demanding that I be subject to an oral deposition under oath for an unlimited amount of time, where they were free to interrogate me on pretty much any private matter that they chose. Also, in this petition for discovery, they demanded that I turn over documents of all communications with more than a dozen of my friends, an unlimited amount of unnamed persons in any form and over an unlimited period of time.
Damn.
I did not. Now, I did not for a few reasons. Number one, I have seen how this employer handles legal issues, and I knew that once I opened the door to legal abuse, it would never, ever be shut. This is how they operate. In fact,
there's been a lot of rumors about the Crowder Show being very sue happy and trying to tie people up in NDAs. Candace Owens has raised a lot of noise about this. I already said that earlier, but other people have raised noise about this for a while. So, I mean, this is just him reinforcing what has already been a rumor for a very long time.
I'm not the only one who's a current victim.
There it is.
My former employer is exploiting the legal system to abuse others right now, all in the darkness, fully knowing that the fear and risks it takes to speak up. This kind of harassment at the hands of the powerful isn't just designed to financially ruin somebody, it's designed to cripple their soul. Now, I wasn't about to put my family on embarking upon a journey down that road. Number two, I was not about to allow the privacy of my personal life, the trust I have with my friends, and the real relationships I have with them to be violated in such an vindictive and abusive manner. It simply was not going to happen. I received the latest article of legal harassment on Friday, March 22nd, 2024. After a month now of litigation exhausting even the court with relentless amendments to their Rule 202 petition, my ex-employer was finally awarded their request for my...
Yo, maybe the only way Sam Seder could have ever gotten Steven Crowder to face him down was if he got him into a courtroom. Seems like that's the only way you can communicate with him. Damn, it's legal filing after legal filing after legal filing.
my oral deposition and any document or communication with my friends that they believe may provide any avenue to sue me or others. As it stands, they await my forced cooperation.
Mr. Delight.
I will not. I will continue to fight. Now, here's the big question, is what was their entire reason for this harassment and the basis for their claims? These documents, an NDA. Some more context. I signed this separation agreement, an NDA, containing a strict and very broad non-disparagement clause many years ago. I voluntarily left my job after deciding I could no longer put myself or my growing family through the toxic and abusive work environment I had endured for years. This place was and is to this day a workplace rife with sexual misconduct, degeneracy, and aggression.
Damn.
The things I saw.
Degeneracy, aggression, and sexual misconduct. I mean, we would have to know the details of the sexual misconduct. He's in an NDA, though. So, man, again, this really can't go any further in trying to get to the bottom of this unless he's willing to blow through that NDA. So, I mean, this is why I guess he wants all of the money. I'm watching this for the first time with you guys. I knew that he was going to the legal route, but I knew sexual misconduct was talked about. But as of right now, can he not talk about the sexual misconduct until the NDA is gone? So he's asking for the money to get rid of it. That makes sense. Damn. Crowder is going to fight this tooth and nail if there's real evidence of sexual misconduct in there. I don't know what degeneracy means. I've heard the rumors of Crowder showing other coworkers his penis and stuff. I've heard that. But sexual misconduct, maybe that's part of the sexual misconduct. But we're going to have to get more details here. The only one that sounds slightly illegal is the sexual misconduct, unless, again, degeneracy and aggression is just very broad.
Degeneracy and aggression. The things I saw.
NDAs don't stop you from coming out about criminal behavior. The sexual misconduct could be criminal behavior, but the other things are weirdly vague, so it's hard to know what he means by aggression. Not weirdly vague, I can't know exactly what that means.
The things done to me and the things I witnessed my employer do to others were disgusting, shocking, and utterly indefensible. I have the receipts. This all took a serious toll on my personal health. To the point near the end of my tenure, the work environment had become so toxic that I had to be admitted into a heart hospital. And after many tests, I was ultimately put on anti-anxiety medication. This condition was something new to me. I had no history of it prior to my employment.
How much money you want to put on Steven Crowder going after that? I don't think Crowder is the type of show that's like, hey, antidepressants, woo, medical, therapy. I don't know. I don't know if that's I've never seen that vibe on the show, but I don't know his beliefs. What he thinks about therapy, antidepressants, and that type of stuff. I guess we're about to find out real quick.
Employment there and have never been treated for it since. Now, when I decided to resign, my wife was pregnant with our firstborn child. It was a terrifying position to be put in, but I absolutely knew that I could not be the husband or dad I was called to be for them in my current state. Something had to change, and if I couldn't change my work environment, then it was time for me to remove myself from it. I was fully aware that willfully resigning would mean I would forfeit any sort of severance. I trusted that God would provide. What I had not anticipated is how much it would cost me to quit. This is where my first experience with legal abuse began. Starting from the day I delivered my notice of resignation, I was put on the phone with company lawyers, and the good cop, bad cop coercion campaign to get my signature on an NDA was well underway. I was told many lies throughout this process. I immediately hired my own legal counsel, and by the grace of God, understanding my predicament, he even agreed to work for half of his normal rate. Even so, the legal fees immediately began to pile up. My former employer and his attorney argued I could not work in media anywhere in the world.
Wow.
And most certainly not in the United States for 2 years.
This is the same. Wait, I'm sorry, but this is the same Steven Crowder. This is really kicking into high gear now that I'm hearing him lay it out like this. If this is true, if confirmed, this is the same Steven Crowder who got on his knees in front of the public town square online and sabuku'd himself like, look how honorable I am for not taking this Daily Wire deal. And they're screwing over. I'm standing up for the little guy. By telling you about the Daily Wire, I'm standing up for the little guy. That's what I care about. I'm sick of these contracts taking advantage of small creators. We want to help small creatives here at the Steven Crowder Show. And he really railed on this point. And he's doing the exact behavior he was accusing other people of doing. If confirmed, that would be the case. Not only is it horribly hypocritical, I mean, it's terribly immoral on its face, I think, to try to tie people up in legal fees and legal combat because they want to resign from your workplace. If you don't want, definitely if you want the NDA to cover so much, be such an expansive NDA, stop them from working in other media. They know he works in media. Where else do you think he would go to work? Of course he would be in media. It's ridiculous. This is the same type of restrictions and abuse of authority that he was complaining about in the conservative media space. What? This is like a what? This is like a man. I can't think of a comparison to this. I mean, the hypocrisy is obvious. I'd be like Jordan. Fuck, man. I don't know. Huey Long complaining about corruption. Putin complaining about corruption. I get the hypocrisy is obvious. No wonder he wants an NDA if he's going to grandstand like that in the public square.
This is not because I involuntarily signed some sort of non-compete in my original employment agreement. It was because they decided a non-solicitation clause that was in said original agreement would retroactively be interpreted as the broadest and strictest non-compete one could draft. They told me my Twitter account, another potential lifeline to future work, which I had owned and been the sole manager of since 2009, was to be turned over to them on the argument that it was somehow their intellectual property.
He wanted his Twitter accounts? What the fuck? Dude. Could you imagine? I work for PV. I work for Progressive Victory, right? They pay me. I work with them. I wanna get progressives elected, and I'm a progressive person. It's not a secret, right? I'm open about that. Could you imagine any scenario, no matter how entwined I got with them, that they would say that the Twitter account that I've always owned and operated right now, the Twitter account that he owned and operated before working for Steven Crowder, is theirs just because they used it and got popular with them while they owned it? It's ridiculous standard. It's ridiculous. Look, let me be clear. Me and Jared Monroe probably have very little to basically no agreement on domestic politics. Probably a good chance that's also true with foreign politics. I don't know. I don't pay attention. I just know him as a sidekick to Steven Crowder. That's probably what I will always know him as, because that's just where I've seen him. But this is just, I mean, this is him. This is Steven Crowder trying to turn this man over a barrel and screw him. That's what this is. And it's obvious. And you don't need to like the guy's opinions or even like the guy to see that. It's obvious. If confirmed, of course. I'm basing this in what he's saying being true, which, of course, so far is just his testimony. We'll see about any documents that he can present. But this is a rumor that's been going around for a while. But man, they wanted the Twitter accounts? What were they going to do with the Twitter accounts? Once they got Jared Monroe's Twitter accounts, would it be, hey, hey, Jared's gone, so this is now the not gay Jared Ghost account that will be tweeting to promote the show forever? What would they even use the Twitter account for? It's much more useful to them. It would be next to useless to them, because the people following it want to see Jared Monroe. If you turn it into Steven Crowder 2, it'd be worthless. What would you even use it for? It seems almost like intended to cripple him.